What if I said to you that you weren't supposed to be feeling completely expansive, abundant, on top of your game, co-creating like a mofo? What if I said to you you weren't supposed to be? That would be a bit weird, right? So this is my theory, according to Marie. I believe that we are all stammering on the edge of our full 100% capacity of download because we are meant to activate the ancient teachings from the first time within each and every one of us. And each and every one of us has that encodement, right? Now, without these teachings, and I'm going to get to that in a minute, without these teachings, we're kind of up the paddle without a creek. There you go, I said it. Or we could actually be up the creek without a paddle. It depends which way you look at it, because perspective is a beautiful thing, right? But this is my point, is like, maybe you're like 95% downloaded, but you hadn't quite hit the mark yet. Now, we must have a very, very powerful understanding of the teachings of the first time within our being, like consciously, right? That goes to every teacher, conscious creator, every single one of us, right? We have to go back to the beginning and reactivate that ancient knowledge and wisdom, right? And that does not come with learning other people's bodies of work, okay? It's okay, but there is an absence of full empowerment in what you do, right? So this is what I'm saying. You're going to learn a lot working with other teachers and all the rest of it, but if you're not connecting with teachings or remembrances or books or whatever that is taking you back to the Hermetic Teachings, this is the golden key. The Hermetic Teachings is basically, it's got a set of 7 principles, all right? Now, I'm always going on about the Hermetic Teachings, and most people think, what the hell is that? I have no idea what she's talking about, but I'm going to kind of break it down in layman's terms, right? Because, I mean, the Hermetic Teachings are like all about philosophy, science, and metaphysics, right? And that is like, can get super complicated, right? I'm certainly no Einstein, but I need to keep it simple. So I'm going to break it down for you. What is the Hermetic Teachings? Now, they were brought through by Thoth, but also known as Hermes. He had quite a few incarnations actually, but like, you know, I'm going to talk Thoth because, you know, I'm all Egyptian vibe. So, and that's a happy ground. We all know him. We all know Thoth. So he brought through these teachings that he brought from Atlantis, okay? And he brought them all the way through and actually built and used these teachings in the Old Kingdom, which was very lovely. I really, really would love to be living in Old Kingdom Egypt, because that was when everything was super high vibe and just amazing. And they lived by the principles and they knew how to work with the energies and frequencies to be in their highest vibration, to be able to access the highest energy of themselves, the highest frequency, the highest potential. And the Hermetic principles, look, there's many universal laws, but we're going to keep it simple that there are 7 principles. You know, these teachings of different tools, okay, that were given to us. We didn't come here empty-handed. They were given to us so we could live, like really live. And what these principles do is there's the principle of mentalism, there's the principle of correspondence, principle of vibration. I'm going to be going through these down the line, but I'm not going to blow your circuits now. I just want you to have a basic understanding of what the Hermetic principle is all about. But there are all these different principles that break down how this stuff works, right? And when applied, or maybe you have 2 principles that work with each other, these are the formulas that I'm talking about. This is where I kind of like reintroduced the Heka Codes, because the Heka Codes is all about alchemy, working with templates and formulas that you can land your ideas and creations into, and they activate, you know, working with the frequencies so they can manifest. I'm not teaching anything which is brand new that Marie sat in our kitchen with a glass of wine going, well, this is cool. No, that isn't where they came from. They came from Thoth. And I have that encoding within me. And I just kind of remembered it, unpacked it and thought, right, I'm going to reshare this so people can kind of process it in an easy way. And this is what we all have within us. So as soon as you tap into the Heka Codes, as soon as you tap into like reading maybe a book about the Hermetic Teachings, you somewhere inside of you going to remember it. Okay. So these 7 principles are power tools, right? We're going to break it down what this whole crazy life journey or lives is all about. We came here to come from our extreme darkness and forgetting. Okay. This is the game. You're not supposed to remember a thing, even though in the last life you were some ascended master, and the lifetime before that you were probably like Merlin, and the lifetime before that you were maybe Jesus, who knows? But like, you know what I'm saying? You were meant to come to these lifetimes to be plonked into the darkness and for you to find your way back, okay? And it wasn't to go and rest on your laurels underneath a teacher who's just telling you their version of events and you just sucking it up and just treading water. No, you were meant to find your original teachings through teachers. Okay, so that's where Taoism is really powerful. If one is not plugged into these original teachings, their direct source, exactly that, okay, then one is going to get lost and you're going to be completely studying and just reading books and not going anywhere. That is where you may feel that you're not going anywhere. Teachers, spiritual teachers, sharings are amazing. There's some really cool stuff out there. But if you're not plugged in and you haven't plugged into your power and your own truth, meaning the original essence of who you are, which essentially would be the Hermetic Teachings, we have that incumbent. Wherever you go, you're just taking people's word for it. So then that's what's going to happen, is you're just going to go round and round in circles. However, if you're plugged in and you work with other teachers, then you're going to go, wow, that's really awesome. And you're going to have the power of discernment, because some stuff's going to vibe because it doesn't feel completely truthful or in the highest vibration, but some things are going to blow your doors off that people are coming through. If you do not have that filter, then you're just going to basically be like a dirty swimming pool full of leaves, incapable of cleaning the water, and your swimming pool's just going to be shit. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, you know, so we've really got to kind of like clean up, realign, and stop handing our power away, waiting for someone to save us. Because trust me, my whole life, this life has been, I've been waiting for somebody to save me. And I've kind of sat here at the bus stop. I've now realized ain't no one coming. In fact, I don't think there is a bus. You know what I mean? And then what's happened is that has stimulated my own inner journey through going to Egypt so many times, activating and unlocking my own encodements. That's where the Heka Codes were born from, to present to people, to bring that pathway so you can follow that pathway back to yourself. Okay? And it's not for me to teach you, because once you connect with that, they'll just come online. And once you know, right? So let's go back to the game. The game, you were dumped, right? And you now got to figure back your way back home, okay? So you've been dumped in the jungle, naked and afraid, if anybody watches that program. If you don't, then you're going to think that's just really weird what I've just said. But you can be jumped in the jungle, told to find your way home without a phone, no Uber, okay, no flashlight, nothing. And you just got to figure it out. You know what I mean? Don't eat the poison berries, eat those beautiful fruits over there. It's like, don't take the red pill. Do you see what I'm saying? That was the game. Now, if we have gone into the jungle without anything in our little backsack, right? Meaning the 7 principles, the Hermetic Teachings, okay? If that's what's happened, then you're going to be forever lost. Or, yeah, you're going to be forever lost. It's very simple. There's no or, okay? So if you have access to the Hermetic Teachings, you're going to figure it out. And you're going to be able to use those principles to go, oh, when the pendulum is swinging, I need to duck, okay? Okay, so the principle of this, okay, I need to work with that and do something else. And it gives you the tools to be able to navigate the energies and the frequencies of planet Earth that challenges the average human. Well, there is no average human. We're all super amazing, like awesome. But you see what I'm saying? These are why the principles are so, so important. And in a way, it does come away a little bit from spirituality to an extent, okay? It's a spiritual science, all right? And this makes it very easy to digest because we're all very mental, okay? Everything is mental. That's one of the principles. Everything is mental. So those of you that are trying to kind of stay out your mind and think it's a big demon, it can be when it's telling you a load of bullshit. But if you kind of use the principle of mentalism, it allows you to work with it so it becomes a mental alchemy. Anyway, if this is confusing you now and you want to know more, you just got to book Heka Codes with me and it'll all be apparent. But I think you get the idea of what I'm saying is you were given some power tools to navigate the game. Now we're calling the game the capital GAME. That is what Spirit calls it. Now, what we mean by using the principles is if you have an absolute shit show going on and you're basically being taken out and you're being played by the game, meaning one dark night after another, disempowerment, loss, somebody's ripped you off, your car, you just crashed your car, relationships broken down, and you're experiencing this in your life and you're going, wow, I'd really love to go and do that and be a spiritual high being and all that kind of. that's the game playing you, right? That's what it looks like. So with the principles, you get to navigate that energy, because essentially what the Hermetic Teachings is all about is bringing online what you create and work with within you creates out there. So it gives you the power back to be able to change the frequency, change the narrative within, with having these 7 principles, to be able to then change your reality out there, because all that's going on out there is a reflection of what you got going on in here. So instead of putting out fires out there and basically losing your shit with what's going on, it doesn't matter. You're just exhausting yourself. So play the game, come back in, understand the Hermetic Teachings, work with them, okay? And then all of a sudden you are empowered and you are now playing the game. The game is not playing you. And that is why I go back to why we were given the Hermetic principles to live. Because without it, you just get knocked from pillar to post. You're bouncing around all over the place. Just as you get your grip, it all goes a bit tits up again. Do you know what I mean? So this is really important. And I want to say, and I am going to say it, there is no other way around this path to ascension, as everyone calls it, the path to ascension. There is no way around it unless you have a clear understanding, or rather a conscious understanding of the Hermetic principles and those teachings. Now, I say conscious because many of us are already teaching, living by this principle, especially the conscious creators out there. We talk about this all day long, metaphysics, philosophy, science, whatever. It's what we do. It's what the energy updates are all about. If you're listening to them, then of course you're in touch with all of that, right? So you're already doing it. I'm just bringing it up to the forefront and putting labels on it, going, guess what? That's the principle of polarity. Oh, guess what you did there? That was the principle. So if you have like a conscious understanding that what you're actually doing and where you're doing it and why, doesn't that change the game? Capital G, A-M-E. You know what I mean? So this is really important. And I'm now going to start feeding these videos through because it's time. We are not supposed to be in this perpetual cycle of being misled and following different breadcrumbs and all the rest of it. Think about it. If you plug straight into source, you don't get anything else in the way. Once you know your truth and you're empowered in locking into that and you know your truth, then nothing else can come in the way of that. And it's a bit like, let's take a natural spring out the mountain. Okay, if you go right to the source of the spring and you put your cup there, it's going to be crystal clear. It's going to be awesome. If you've gone to the bottom of the mountain and you're taking the water from there, by that time, you've probably got a bit of bunny poo in there. Somebody's taken a wee, flicked their fag butt. Do you know what I mean? Somebody's actually chucked their rubbish in there and you've got your little cup at the bottom. So that was really gross. Oh, God. Anyway, these teachings that I bring through, definitely not how Thoth did it. But anyway, you get the gist. So if you need to know more about this, watch the videos. But what's really important is that you get proactive now. So I encourage you to tap into the Heka Codes one-on-one sessions with me. That's why they're here. And also as well with the Tablets of Light tour, that is the biggest level of teaching for what I'm talking about. So you want to activate, get in touch. Booking your no-cost Zoom call always to discuss anything in your future and make it reality. Start manifesting it. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll work on my analogies, my explanations when I come back next. Peace.